Recorded Books presents Putting It Together, How Stephen Sondheim and I Created Sunday in the Park with George, by James Lapine, narrated by Adam Grupper, with Alyssa Bresnahan, Eva Kaminsky, T. Ryder Smith, and Graham Winton, featuring Len Cariou as Stephen Sondheim. Music by Stephen Sondheim. Music arranged and performed by Matt Eisenstein. The art of making art is putting it together, bit by bit. Stephen Sondheim. Prelude. I am sitting in the Hudson Theater in 2017, watching a Broadway revival of Sunday in the Park with George, a musical for which Stephen Sondheim wrote the music and lyrics, and I wrote the book. It was, in fact, the second Broadway revival of the show since its opening more than 35 years ago. Generally, when I watch any show of mine that I have not directed, my viewing is accompanied by an inner monologue critiquing the production. Why are they doing that? Don't they know this scene is about such and such? Did anyone read the stage directions? But this was opening night, and I had already seen this production in previews. I was by and large pleased, and found myself drinking a beer and sitting back to just watch the show with my critical switch in off mode. After about 20 minutes or so, a voice came in my head. Who wrote this peculiar musical? Who were Sondheim and I in 1982 when we embarked on this project? And why are some people so passionately in love with Sunday in the Park with George, and others not so much? Was this show speaking to me this night, this moment, in a way that I had never before heard it? A reminder of my youthful creativity, the ability I had to access my imagination without the self-censorship and doubt that come with age? Or had I maybe just had one too many beers? Writing Sunday in the Park with George changed my life, and I would venture to say it changed Sondheim's as well. It certainly was a different experience for him after collaborating with Hal Prince on 7 Broadway shows. Working with Sondheim was a dream come true. On the other hand, my memories of directing the production remain complicated and occasionally painful. At least, that's the feeling I have carried with me all these years. This book was born that night as I sat in the Hudson Theater. It revisits the 2-year period from 1982 to 1984, when Sondheim and I came together to tell the story of a 2-year artistic struggle 100 years earlier, that of the French painter Georges Seurat, as he created his masterpiece Un dimanche après-midi à l'île de la Grande, a Sunday afternoon on the island of la Grande. I have interviewed some 40 people who worked with us on the show. Actually, they were as much conversations as interviews, and I invited everyone I spoke with to please ask me questions as well. I was reminded that memory is uniquely personal, and as time passes, the facts of an event are often rewritten to reflect the teller and the stories he or she chooses to hold true. Sometimes emotional recall wins the day over fact. I am not the same person, the same writer, the same director I was then. And many of the people I spoke to are quick to make a similar point about themselves. Surprising to me was the one thing almost all of us shared, that creating this musical about making a work of art was a unique moment for all of us, and in some cases, a defining one. This audiobook, then, is a mixed salad, 1 part memoir, 1 part oral history, 1 part how a musical gets written and produced. Another reason I decided to write this. It would have been so helpful to me as both writer and director to have had an audiobook like this to listen to in 1982, before I embarked on my first Broadway show. From Ohio to Sondheim. Mansfield, Ohio, 1961. I am an accident of the theater. The first Broadway show I saw was Bye Bye Birdie. The lyric
Sample complete. Ready to continue?